Welcome team, Coach Bonnie here, talking about Warrior 3. This is a really good pose. We have been doing this and we try to do this on the Bosu ball. This pose is, if done well, give you a lot of back strength, a lot of leg strength, a lot of hip strength. So let's start off with going through this pose. Notice he doesn't have any arms. We're going to go through that to discuss various arm positions. So the first thing that you're doing in Warrior 3, balance pose, is you're thinking about the feet. Everything starts with the feet. So this standing leg, foot is strong. Beginners and folks that have glute imbalances, hips that aren't very strong, you'll notice that they'll tend to kick their foot in. That's a no-no, okay? Don't do it. Keep this foot straight forward, active, and this knee slightly bent. Always slightly bent. We talked about triangle pose and slightly bent. What that does is engages the quads, allows the hamstrings to stretch, the whole leg is engaged, the muscles are pulling the knee joint into balance, providing a lot of stability. So folks that hyperextend their knees, you'll see this where this is kind of hyperextended back like that. Kind of hard on the front part of the meniscus, plus it's harder for them to balance, plus they're not learning what it means to kind of balance out the leg muscles, lower and upper of the knee. So hyperextending, while not inherently bad per se, you certainly are missing a whole lot. So slightly bent knee, legs engaged, foot engaged. Hopefully your arch is up. Folks that pronate and have kind of a lack of strength down in this area, your foot's going to pronate, your foot's going to want to turn out, force it to. So what does that mean? That means that you stay with a version of this pose that you can keep this part in check. You do that, force yourself to do that, this all gets stronger, then you can build this pose and do the harder versions as you go along. Going and trying to jump into that harder version, you don't get this, you don't get the running improvement, you don't get the biking improvement. If you have trouble when biking where your knees tend to come in, again, hip, glute not working, you can practice it here, see the results other places. Okay, your other foot, he's active. I like to say in class it's a karate chop foot, not a ballerina foot and not a foot that's lazy. This is working, this is all strong. You want nice strong glutes, good looking, all of this is very strong. Karate chop foot, this is working, okay? Incredibly good developed strength. One of the things that you'll see when you're doing this is that, and it's due to tightness and IT band and hip tightness on the opposite side, but the hip that's related to the lifted leg, this hip right here, you're going to want to see it, it's going to want to go up, and you're going to want to force it back down. So how you avoid that is that you want to drop this hip down, you want your back flat. You want to be able to put a pizza box on both of your glutes and it be flat. So what that takes is inner thigh strength. Your IT band, piriformis are going to need to stretch, that's okay. It's not going to do it at first. You can bend your knee a little bit, pull that hip down. Okay, continue on into this pose. This heart, your heart needs to be pulled forward to where this is all engaged. You want to view this pose as a plank, a straight line, a strong oak board, very strong with this karate chop foot pivoting at the hip, okay? A lot of people are bending their back a little bit. Pull your heart forward, get this whole kinetic line put together, clear towards the heel. That's where the karate chop foot comes in play, is you're trying to connect your heart all the way across to the heel. Face is nice and soft, you're smiling, and your gaze is down here. Okay, so staring down, that'll help with balance. So your hands, what do you want to do with your hands, okay? You can keep your hands, to start off this pose, you can put some blocks here and put your hands on the blocks, okay? Or you can have your hands together at your heart, okay? The hardest way to do this pose, you could have airplane arms. That's not so hard. That helps with balance. But the hardest pose is for your hands to be straight forward. That's the hardest part. That's the most stressful on the back. If you have a cranky back, don't do this. It's not needed. You can develop all the strength needed with the airplane arms, which is a little bit easier. Adding the airplane arms, and you can get this work in the back and the shoulder blades, the rhomboids, the traps. So, Warrior 3. We went through a lot. Maybe listen to this again. Okay, but what I want to review with you and leave with you, Warrior 3, right here. Here is the strength in this Warrior 3. Active foot, slightly bent knee, hip is working, karate chop foot. All of this is working to keep you nice and strong where you're pivoting this straight board on this hip. So, for more yoga tips related to running, biking, swimming, and being awesome, BonnieKissinger.com, PSR Fit. Hope you have a good day.